Hi everyone, it's Vivid Bees and everything. It's a rainy fall day and this is the perfect time to plant trees and shrubs so they can establish roots before next summer's hot and dry spells. I am taking out these non-native and highly invasive shrubs here and replacing them with native ones. Native plants have one huge benefit over non-natives. They serve as a host plant for butterflies and moths, which are the second largest insect group after beetles, and for that, many other animals rely on them as a food source, including birds, bats, frogs, and other insects. So this one here is a burning bush, and you can see all these little burning bushes that it's making underneath. And it's not just here. The birds will eat the fruit and they spread this bush all over the property. I'm finding it absolutely everywhere. And so I really want to take this one out and replace it. The biggest issue I find is that most big shops don't really offer native kinds of plants, so people are really not familiar with them. So I want to show you a couple amazing native shrubs here that I have. I'm going to be planting. So this is the red osier dogwood, also known as red twig dogwood, and it's a beautiful shrub in all seasons. It has white cluster flowers in the late spring, followed by white berries in late summer that are very attractive and ornamental and popular with the birds. They have red leaves in the fall and dramatic red stems in the winter, especially if you have snow on the ground. This is going to really stand out. And they make amazing privacy fence. They are 6 to 9 feet tall and 5 to 10 feet wide. And they are a host plant for silk moths and azure butterflies, which is a really beautiful small blue butterfly. And I'm showing you here two different versions of this plant. So the two plants on the right are the straight up native kinds that I ordered online from Prairie Moon Nurseries. And the one on the left is a hybrid that I found locally, and you will see that a lot in your local stores. They will have hybrids of the natives, and a lot of times they are okay to serve as a host plant as long as their leaves are not changed too much. A lot of times you will see them, they will change the color from green to purple or kind of like an ornament dark, and in that case, the butterflies and moths may not use it as a host plant anymore because it's just changed too much. So it's best to really go for just the native, straight native species. And right here, I have this clump, huge clump of a Japanese honeysuckle, and it is just spreading absolutely everywhere. I have waited 3 years to remove this one. I really wanted to first establish the native species of honeysuckles, so I don't just take out a food source. And here is one of them. This is a northern bush honeysuckle that I planted on the bottom of my property. It is not a true honeysuckle in that it doesn't vine, but it makes a mound-shaped shrub that's about 3 by 3 feet, and it has beautiful yellow-orange honeysuckle-shaped flowers and red-purple leaves in a sunny location in the fall. It's great for pollinators like butterflies, and it's a host plant for laurel sphinx moths and snowberry clearwing. It likes dry to medium soil and a sunny location to part shade. And here is another one. This is the coral honeysuckle. It's a climbing vine loved by hummingbirds and birds for the fruit. It takes all different soils and sun to partial shade. It's a host to the hummingbird moth, and look at the beautiful red fruit and the beautiful red flowers. Absolutely gorgeous. So, I will be taking these two bushes out. There's a red bud in between them that I planted there 3 years ago, so it just starts establishing. And in its place, I'm going to put some more native shrubs and trees. And the howling you hear, by the way, is Jake the Beagle. So this here is a black chokeberry. It blooms with beautiful pink and white flowers in May, and in the fall it has a vibrant red leaf color. The top of the bush is rounded and eventually forms a nice thicket, so this is great for privacy fence and windbreak, which is how I'm using it here on top of the hill. And it's about 5 to 6 feet tall. And in the late summer, this will have beautiful black and purple fruits that can be made into jelly and chutney. And I've tried them before and they're quite tasty. The next shrub I have here is a chokeberry, and this has white flowers in the spring and dark red berries in the summer, which are actually really delicious. They can be made into wines or jams. They're all edible except for the seeds. And these are native cherry varieties, so they support a huge number of moths and butterflies, such as the giant silk moth and tiger swallowtail. Their autumn leaves are beautiful yellow to orange color. You need at least two plants for increased fruit production, and these guys will take all different sun conditions and soil conditions, but they prefer water, I found from experience. I planted this one in a drier spot. I really didn't like it, so this time I'm gonna plant it near a downspout so it gets plenty of water. These shrubs can get really tall and wide, 20 feet tall, 15 feet wide, but you can prune them in the winter to keep them in the shape and size you want. And this particular spot on the property is in a hill, and on the bottom of it is our orchard. So I'm planting short trees like this redbud that has beautiful pink flowers in the spring and only gets to about 20 feet tall. And also I noticed that the leafcutter bees absolutely love using its leaves for their nests. So that's really an added bonus right there. And here are some tools I'm gonna need. I'm gonna chainsaw the trunk of the burning bush and then cut and dig the honeysuckle roots. So here is what it looks like after I cut the burning bush. The big trunks, I gave them waffle cut with the chainsaw and then gave the smaller trunks a blow with the axe to keep them from regrowing. This here is another short native tree. This is the flowering dogwood tree. It has large, flat, white flowers in the spring, followed by these beautiful red fruits in the fall, which are really striking, and also the leaves turn beautiful dark red. And I've been removing more burning bushes and other invasives from the top of the hill here for the last 3 years. Right here, there was a bunch that I took out and I replaced them with some natives that are slowly growing. Here we have American holly trees, and these are amazing because they are evergreens, so they offer nice coverage for winter birds. They also have great fruit that the birds love, and their flowers in the summer are an absolute bee magnet. And if you want to grow them, make sure you have one male, at least one male, so that they do produce the berries. And since I'm in a hill, I've also figured out a way to plant the trees and shrubs here. I make kind of like a divot that holds the water so they don't dry out in the summer as much. So I've been slowly replacing all these invasive non-native species with native ones, letting the natives grow a little bit before I take more non-natives out. This way there is always something growing, some kind of coverage and benefits to me and the wildlife. All right, happy planting, guys.